The WA towed my disabled daughter Rachel's van over her K-9 hero sticker, leaving her stranded. Susan thought she'd won, but Rachel, a fierce ex-K-9 cop, called her buddy with a dog with a blogger filming. She's ready to flip Maple Grove's WA game. Before watching full video, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more videos. Mark Thompson and his daughter Rachel moved to Maple Grove, Oregon, hoping for peace after Rachel's injury. She'd been a K-9 officer, but a training accident left her needing a wheelchair. Their new home, a cozy one-story house, was perfect, especially because it wasn't under the HOA's rules. The lot was built years before Maple Grove's fancy neighborhood code, so they were free from its grip on their first day. As Mark unpacked boxes, the doorbell rang. Susan Bradley, the WA president, stood there with a fake smile, her clipboard clutched tight. She wore a bright blazer, her hair perfect, but her eyes were cold. "Welcome to Maple Grove," she said. "I'm here to sign you up for the WA. First month's dues are $200. She glanced at Rachel's van in the driveway, a K-9 hero sticker gleaming. "That van sticker looks unprofessional, it needs to go." Mark frowned. "Our house isn't part of the WA, it's exempt. Says so in our deed." He grabbed the papers from a folder on the counter and showed her the legal proof, a 1995 survey and title clause stating their lot was independent. Rachel wheeled over, her face calm but firm. "We're not joining," she said. Susan's smile vanished. She scanned the papers, her lips tightening. "There must be a mistake," she snapped. "Everyone here follows our rules, that van's an eyesore, exemption or not." She thrust a rule book at Mark. "We'll see about that exemption." With a smirk she turned and left, her heels clicking. Mark and Rachel exchanged looks. Trouble was coming. The next week a letter from Susan arrived, taped to Mark and Rachel's front door. It claimed Rachel's van with its K-9 hero sticker broke WA rules. 4 visible vehicles parked overnight. It demanded the van be garaged or face a fine. Rachel read it aloud, her voice steady but annoyed. "This van's my lifeline," she said, tapping her wheelchair. "It's got a ramp for me, it's protected under ADA law." Mark nodded. "Let's tell her," Rachel called Susan, her old police instincts kicking in. "My van's not breaking any rules," she said firmly. "It's for my disability, and our house isn't even in your WA." Susan's voice was icy. "Rules apply to everyone, Miss Thompson. Fix it or we will." She hung up. Rachel shook her head. "She's trouble." The next morning Rachel drove to physical therapy. Mark was at work when his phone buzzed. It was Rachel, stranded at the clinic. "They towed my van," she said, her voice tight. "Susan's behind it." Mark raced to the impound lot, a dusty yard on the edge of town. Rachel waited outside, her wheelchair glinting in the sun, her face a mix of anger and focus. Mark paid $500 to free the van, his jaw clenched as they loaded it. Rachel spotted a fresh scratch on the wheelchair ramp. "This wasn't here yesterday," she muttered. Driving home Rachel's mind raced. "This feels like a scam," she said. "Susan's pushing too hard, too fast. I bet she's getting a cut from that tow company." Mark glanced at her. "Like what you saw on the force?" Rachel nodded, her eyes narrowing. "Exactly. She's not just bossy, she's hiding something dirty." They pulled into Maple Grove, ready to fight back. Susan didn't let up. A few days after the tow, a new notice arrived claiming Mark and Rachel's fence was half an inch too tall and needed fixing. Mark checked. It was nonsense. The fence was standard. Then neighbors started acting weird. Old Mrs. Carter across the street, who'd waved yesterday, now avoided eye contact. At the grocery store, Tom Vega ducked down an aisle when he saw Mark. "Susan's got them spooked," Rachel said, shaking her head. "The worst came next, a letter demanding they remove Rachel's wheelchair ramp because it hurt the neighborhood's curb appeal." Rachel's eyes flashed. "She's messing with my freedom now." Rachel wasn't one to sit still. She called Chris Delgado, her old K-9 partner from the force. "Can you poke around on Susan's tow company?" she asked. Chris called back, that night, voice low. "The tow place, it's owned by Susan's buddy from college, Greg Vance. Looks like they're splitting cash from every tow. Shady as hell." Rachel grinned. "Got her." Mark wasn't taking chances either. He bought a cheap security camera from the hardware store and set it up by the front porch. 2 nights later it caught gold. Susan in a dark hoodie creeping through their yard at 1 a.m. snapping photos of the ramp and van. "She's obsessed," Mark muttered, saving the footage. Rachel smirked and sloppy. Rachel knew they needed more firepower. She'd read about Jenna Cole, a blogger who exposed crooked HOAs online. Rachel shot her an email attaching the tow receipt in Susan's creepy camera clip. "Susan's running a scam in Maple Grove," she wrote. "Help us stop her." Jenna replied, "In an hour. This is juicy. I'm in. Let's nail her." At the next WA meeting Rachel fist bumped Mark. "Susan's about to learn we don't back down." The fight was on and Maple Grove was about to get real lively. A week before the big WA meeting, Maple Grove got hit with a nasty snowstorm. Rachel, craving her favorite latte, braved the icy roads to hit the coffee shop downtown. She parked her van, the K-9 hero sticker barely visible under the snow, and wheeled inside. An hour later, ready to leave, she found her van gone, towed again. Her phone battery was low, but she called Mark, voice sharp with anger. "Susan did it. I'm stuck." Mark dropped his tools at the shop and drove through the blizzard, heart racing. He found Rachel at the coffee shop, her wheelchair by a window, snow piling up outside. "I'm done playing nice," she said, her jaw tight. Mark took her to the impound lot where swear they shelled out $600 this time. The tow guy shrugged while orders. Rachel noticed a new dent on her van's door. Her blood boiling. Susan's trying to break me, she told Mark. Not happening. Back home she called Chris Delgado, her old K-9 partner. I need a favor for the WA meeting, she said. Bring Shadow, your dog. Call it a community demo. Say it's to show kids police work. It'll spook Susan. Chris chuckled. Shadow's a beast. She'll sweat. Count me in. Rachel hung up, feeling a spark of control. Then she texted Jenna Cole, the blogger, hungry to bust Susan's scam meetings Tuesday. Susan towed my van again today. Can you come record it? Jenna shot back. Hell yeah, I'll bring my phone. Maybe a live stream. People need to see this live. Rachel smiled. She was building an army. Susan thought she could bully a disabled woman into submission, but Rachel was a fighter trained to outsmart bigger threats than a clipboard queen. As snow fell outside, Mark watched Rachel plan, her eyes fierce. She's got no idea what's coming, Rachel said, petting a photo of her old K-9 dog. The meeting was going to be a showdown and Rachel was ready to flip the game. The Maple Grove Community Center was packed for the WA meeting, folding chairs crammed tight. Susan Bradley stood at the front, gavel in hand, acting like she owned the place. We're here to enforce standards, she said, sharply eyeing Mark and Rachel as they arrived. She waved off their exemption like it was nothing. No property skips our rules, she declared, ignoring their legal papers. The room felt heavy, neighbors shifting nervously. Then Rachel rolled in, stealing the air. She wore her old K-9 uniform, badges gleaming under the lights, her wheelchair steady. Chris Delgado walked beside her, Shadow, his big German shepherd, trotting alert at his side. The crowd buzzed, whispers spreading fast. Rachel's presence screamed strength, no hint of backing down. Mark stepped up, slamming a folder on the table. Here's our RD 1994 survey title exemption, he said loud and clear. Our house isn't yours to boss. Jenna Cole, tucked in the back, hit record on her phone, catching every second as neighbors leaned forward. Chris spoke next, voice calm but firm. We've got complaints piling up, tows for no reason. Police are auditing Susan's tow company ties. The room gasped. Maria Lopez, a quiet neighbor, stood shaky. They towed my car last month over a school sticker, cost me $300, she said. Others nodded. Mr. for Patel's truck, Lisa's sedan, all hit for petty violations. Voices rose, story spilling out. Jenna's camera swept the chaos, live stream lighting up with comments. Susan's face went red. Order, she screamed, banging her gavel so hard it cracked. This is my meeting, but the board wasn't hers anymore. Mrs. Carter, the treasurer, squinted at Susan. What's this about your friend's tow company? Why is every tow signed by you? Another board member flipped through papers, muttering about weird payments. Susan stammered, her control slipping like sand. Rachel locked eyes with Mark, a small nod passing between them. The room wasn't Susan's anymore, it was theirs. Jenna's phone kept rolling and Maple Grove was waking up after the showdown. The WA board didn't waste time. Mrs. Carter, the treasurer, called a vote right there in the community center, all in favor of refunding every tow. Susan ordered. Hands shot up, unanimous, and removing Susan as president. More hands, not a single no. Susan stormed out, face pale, muttering about lawyers. The board agreed to audit the HOA's books, suspecting her tow company cash was just the start. Mark and Rachel sat back, relieved, as neighbors clapped. Jenna Cole's blog post hit the internet that night, titled Maple Grove's Tow Scam Queen. She detailed Susan's fake rules, the towed cars, and her buddy's tow company. By morning it was viral, shared across Oregon, even picked up by Portland news. Comments flooded in other towns had similar stories. Police called Susan in, probing fraud and kickbacks. Word spread her college friend Greg was spilling details to save himself. Susan's reign was crumbling fast. A week later, Mr. Patel knocked on the Thompsons' door. We want you, Rachel, to lead a new committee, he said. Make the WA fair, no more bullies. Rachel grinned, her K-9 instincts itching to help. I'm in, she said. Mark beamed, proud as ever. The neighborhood was changing and Rachel was at the heart of it. The next Saturday, neighbors surprised them. Maria Lopez brought sandpaper, Tom Vega had paint, and old Mrs. Carter carried cookies. We're fixing your van, scratch, Maria said. They worked together, laughing, sanding out the dent from Susan's toe. By dusk the van looked good as new. Someone suggested a potluck and soon tables filled the Thompsons' yard. Tacos, pies, lemonade, kids ran around, music played, and Rachel wheeled through, joking with everyone. Mark raised a glass to real neighbors, he said. The crowd cheered. Maple Grove feeling like home at last. 6 months after Susan's fall, Maple Grove was a different place, a real community, not a rulebook prison. The WA was now optional, no one forced to join. Neighbors smiled again, free to be themselves. The local park got a big upgrade, new wheelchair-friendly swings and a smooth ramp perfect for kids of all abilities. Rachel's idea, pushed through her fairness committee, made it happen. Families loved it and Mark caught Rachel grinning every time they passed the playground. Rachel wasn't done growing either. Inspired by her K-9 days, she adopted a scrappy little puppy named Scout, a shepherd mixed with big eyes. She started training him as a service dog, teaching him to fetch her keys or nudge her chair. He's got spirit, she told Mark, tossing Scouted toys she also held. Meetups at the community center showing neighbors how to spot shady rules and stand up for their rights. Folks like Maria Lopez listened close, taking notes. Rachel's old police smarts were making everyone tougher. At a summer potluck in the park, Maple Grove buzzed with life. Tables overflowed with burgers, fruit salad, and homemade cookies. Kids chased Scout, giggling as he yipped. Rachel wheeled through the crowd, joking with the Vega twins about Scout's tricks. Mark leaned against a tree, watching her laugh, her face lit up like it hadn't been since before her injury. His chest swelled with pride. She'd taken Susan's attack, towing her van, mocking her ramp, and turned it into something bigger, something better. As the sun dipped low, Mark grabbed a soda can and stood on a bench. "Hey everyone," he called. The chatter quieted, to Rachel for fighting back and to all of us for building something better. Glasses and cans clinked, cheers ringing out. Rachel caught his eye, smiling wide. Maple Grove wasn't just home now, it was theirs, thanks to